Hi, friends, it's Mrs. Mahoney again. We're learning about the five senses still. So, we've already learned about the sense of sight, right? We use our eyes to see. And we've learned about our sense of hearing, right? And we use our ears to hear. So, I've got a couple things in my hands. Today, we're going to be learning about the sense of smell. What do we use to smell? Our nose. Which would you rather smell? Would you rather smell a garbage can? Or would you rather smell flowers? That's right. I'd rather smell flowers than a yucky, stinky garbage can. Okay, so, right, we use our nose to smell things. I want you to close your eyes for a second. Keep them closed. And I want you to try to smell the different scents or smells all around you in the classroom. Go ahead, keep them closed. And now you can open your eyes again. What did you smell? Yeah, you might have smelled your friend's fruity snack from earlier, or you might smell a sandwich, or you might smell somebody's stinky feet. Who knows? I'm just kidding. I don't think any of us have stinky feet at this time in the day, but who knows? Okay. I want you to think about a place that you like to go with your family. It could be a pizza restaurant, an amusement park, the zoo, anything like that. And I want you to think about, so pretend you're at that place and think about a smell that you might smell while you're at that place. So the thing that I was thinking about was the movies. And I love the smell of popcorn when I'm at the movies. I love it so much that I have to make sure I get popcorn every time I go to the movies. Today, I want you to be listening carefully so we can learn more about our main topic, which is the sense of smell. Our objectives for today are I can identify the main topic and say it after me. I can retell key details from the sense of smell. Good. So that's our read aloud today, the sense of smell. I want you to pay special attention to how your noses can tell when there is something to smell. All right. So in this image or text, we can see a man sniffing coffee. Everybody take a deep breath. Every time you inhale or breathe in, a lot more than air goes up your nose. Along with air, thousands of tiny little molecules, small pieces of things too small for us to see, enter your nose each time you breathe. They're called odor molecules, and together they make up what we call scents. Scents and odors are smells. When the man in this picture inhales, the odor molecules travel up his nose, and then he smells the scent of coffee. You know Mrs. Mahoney loves her coffee. Show me again how you inhale. Did you smell any odor molecules? Did you see any odor molecules? You might have smelled the molecules, but you didn't see them because they were invisible. Molecules are microscopic, so small that you can't see them without a microscope. When they're floating around in the air all the time. There are millions of odor molecules in the air, especially hovering around everything that has a scent. The inside of your nose is like a big, damp cave designed to catch and keep odor molecules. Sniffing a flower. When you sniff a flower, odor molecules rush into your nostrils, the two openings in your nose, and travel high up inside your nose until they reach smell receptors, which are tiny parts deep inside your nose that can smell or catch the scent from the air. The smell receptors tell your brain about the molecules you just sniffed, and your brain sends a message back to you. That's a sweet smelling flower, is what your brain says. Or maybe you don't like the smell of the flower. That's a yucky smelling flower, your brain might say. Here's a diagram of our nose. What happens when you sniff a flower? So this person is sniffing a yellow flower. So you can see it's going in the nostrils and it makes it to the smell receptors. Okay, people can identify a huge number of different kinds of smells and odors, between 4,000 and 10,000. Whew, that's a lot of smells. This is because we can tell the difference between that many different odor molecules. So when we sniff something, when it goes up to the smell receptors, it talks to our brain and it figures out what smell that is, and if we like it or if we don't like that smell or odor. We're lucky to be able to smell so many odors, even though sometimes they smell bad. Some animals, like dogs, have an even better sense of smell than humans. Raise your hand if you have a dog at home. Just raise your hand. You don't need to shout it out. Yeah, a lot of us do have dogs or have seen a dog before in real life. Dogs have 25 times more smell receptors than humans. They have really, really good noses. Dogs have to sniff really hard to get the odor molecules all the way up their nose to meet their smell receptors. If you've ever seen a dog walking with its nose to the ground, you may even be able to hear it. People sniff too, especially when they want to figure out where a smell is coming from or what a smell means. Can everybody inhale and sniff? I was playing with my dog the other night, and he has a little toy that we call Lammy, and he likes to play hide and seek with Lammy. So I would hide Lammy under pillows, and he would make this sound when he was trying to find Lammy. And he would really sniff really hard all over and very fast all over the couch and the living room. So he would follow his nose to where his Lammy was because he knew the scent of Lammy and could follow it to find it. All right. Sneezing. If you had trouble sniffing just now, when you do this, if it's hard for you to sniff, then maybe it's because your nose is stuffed up. When you have a stuffy nose, it means that your nostrils are full of mucus. Mucus is a slimy liquid substance that's inside your nose. You always have mucus in your nose and other parts of your head, but when you're sick with a cold or have allergies, your body makes even more mucus. Mucus is very important. It traps dirt that might be floating around in the air you breathe and keeps it from going further into your body because it can make you sick. So your nose has a job to keep that stuff out. If you're sick, the extra mucus can stuff up your nose or cause it to run. When there is extra mucus in your nose, it's hard for odor molecules to travel high enough into your nose to reach the smell receptors. So it's almost like on that last page, when you have a stuffy nose, it kind of blocks the smell from going to your smell receptor. So it has a hard time figuring out what that smell is. So your brain can't figure it out. The odor molecules are blocked or stopped by the mucus. Block means to just stop it from getting through. It can also mean other things like something that you play with, but we're talking about blocking it from getting to the smell receptors. That means when your nose is stuffed up with a cold, you can't smell as well as when you're healthy. And when that happens, it's time to grab a tissue and blow your nose and get some rest so that you can feel better. Here's an oven. Your sense of smell can help protect you. Remember, there's that word again, protect. keep you safe. For instance, if smoke molecules travel through your nostrils to your smell receptors, your brain will know there's fire somewhere, and you will know that you need to get away from the fire. Even if you're not sure that you smell smoke, you only think that you do, it's better to leave the area and have an adult check to see if there is a fire. Better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry is a saying that means that it's better to take your time and be careful when doing something than it is to rush ahead or ignore a warning and risk getting harmed or hurt. You don't want to get hurt, so you have to be better safe than sorry. But your sense of smell doesn't only tell you about bad things or dangers. It can be a lot of fun to sniff because many things smell great. Have you ever smelled chocolate chip cookies baking in the oven or buttery popcorn at a movie theater? That's what I thought of. Next time you're enjoying your favorite scent or smell, try to remember that odor molecules are hitting your smell receptors and telling your brain, wow, that smells great. Okay, so that's the end of our read aloud. Do you remember what the main topic or idea was of today's read aloud lesson? Yeah, sense of smell. Good listening. Here's another question for you. Why do you have a hard time smelling odors when you have a cold? Yeah, our bodies are making extra mucus, and that mucus blocks the smells from getting to our smell receptors. So it's hard to tell what we're smelling. How can your sense of smell protect you from harm? Yeah, you might be able to smell fire and be able to tell a grown-up so that you can get to a safe place. Yes, our sense of smell can definitely protect us. Okay, so in the read aloud, we heard the word sense. Okay, that means smells or odors. So, for example, I love the different scents I smell when I walk into a perfume store. Ooh, Mrs. Mahoney. Yeah, so there's lots of different scents that you can smell. Now I want you to tell me about your least favorite scent. So think about your least favorite scent or smell or odor and use the word sense when you're thinking about it. Such as, I like the scent or I don't like the scent. Yeah, I really don't like the scent of garbage, or sometimes I don't like the scent of cow manure when I'm passing by a field that has fresh manure spread on it. So that's some of my least favorite scents. Okay, so I'm going to list some things and tell me that would have an awful scent. You wouldn't like it. Or that would have a nice scent. You would like it. What about garbage? Yep, I would say that has an awful scent. A rose. That might have a nice scent. Chocolate chip cookies. Yes, that has a nice scent, in my opinion. Rotten eggs. No, that would have an awful scent. A skunk. That would have an awful scent too. All right, and lastly, we need to talk about that saying again. Remember in our last lesson, we talked about you need to think before you leap? Yeah, so we have another saying that we talked about in this lesson. It's better to be safe than sorry. Right. So we heard that in today's read aloud. And if there's a fire somewhere and you're not entirely sure if it's a fire or not, you should still leave the area and tell an adult. If you think that something might turn out badly and may even harm you or others, then we should be careful. And it's better to be safe than sorry. So you tell an adult. For example, if you wake up one morning and it looks very cloudy, but you aren't sure whether it's going to rain, what might you do if you don't want to be caught in a rainstorm and get very wet? Yeah, you might bring an umbrella with you or a rain jacket, just in case it rains, because it's better to be safe than sorry. You'd rather have an umbrella if it rained than not having an umbrella, right? So it's very similar to the other phrase that we learned, think before you leap, or look before you leap, right? Okay. So these phrases help us make good choices. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.